Welcome home, my friends, to the North Star Within podcast. I'm your host, Britt Ward, holistic life coach, licensed massage therapist, Reiki master, and personal development advocate. Let's dive into today's topic. The web of life, understanding the interconnectedness of all living beings. Listen closely. I'm going to share a story with you. This story is entitled The Egg by Andy Weir. You were on your way home when you died. It was a car accident. Nothing particularly remarkable, but fatal nonetheless. You left behind a wife and 2 children. It was a painless death. The EMTs tried their best to save you, but to no avail. Your body was so utterly shattered, you were better off. Trust me. And that's when you met me. What happened? You asked. Where am I? You died, I said, matter-of-factly, no point in mincing words. There was a truck, and it was getting... Yep, I said. I died? Yep, but don't feel bad about it. Everyone dies, I said. You looked around. There was nothingness. Just you and me. What is this place? You asked. Is this the afterlife? More or less, I said. Are you God? You asked. Yep, I replied. I'm God. My kids, my wife, you said. What about them? Will they be all right? That's what I like to see, I said. You just died, and your main concern is for your family. That's good stuff right there. You looked at me with fascination. To you, I didn't look like God. I looked like some man, or possibly a woman. Some vague authority figure, maybe. More of a grammar school teacher than the Almighty. Don't worry, I said. They'll be fine. Your kids will remember you as perfect in every way. They didn't have time to grow contempt for you. Your wife will cry on the outside, but secretly she will be relieved. To be fair, your marriage was falling apart. If it's any consolation, she'll feel very guilty for feeling relieved. Oh, you said. So what happens now? Do I go to heaven or hell or something? Neither, I said. You'll be reincarnated. Ah, you said. So the Hindus were right. All religions are right in their own way, I said. Walk with me. You followed along as we strolled through the void. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular, I said. It's just nice to walk while we talk. So what's the point then, you asked? When I get reborn, I'll just be a blank slate, right? A baby, so all my experiences, everything I did in this life won't matter. Not true, I said. You have within you all the knowledge and experience of all your past lives. You just don't remember them right now. I stopped walking and took you by the shoulders. Your soul is more magnificent, beautiful, and gigantic than you can possibly imagine. A human mind can only contain a tiny fraction of what you are. It's like sticking your finger in a glass of water to see if it's hot or cold. You put a tiny part of yourself into the vessel, and when you bring it out, you've gained the experiences it had. You've been a human for the last 48 years. You haven't stretched out yet and felt the rest of your immersed consciousness. If we hung out here for long enough, you'd start remembering everything. But there's no point in doing that between each life. How many times have I been reincarnated then? Oh, lots and lots. And into lots of different lives, I said. This time around, you'll be a Chinese peasant girl in 540 AD. Wait, what? You stammered. You're sending me back in time? I guess technically. Time as you know it only exists in your universe. Things are different where I come from. Where do you come from? You said. Oh, sure, I explained. I come from somewhere else. And there are others like me. I know you'll want to know what it's like there. But honestly, you wouldn't understand. Oh, you said, a little let down. But wait, if I get reincarnated to other places in time, I could have interacted with myself at some point. Sure, happens all the time. And with both lives only aware of their own lifespan, you don't even know it's happening. What's the point of it all? You asked. Seriously? I asked. Seriously. You're asking me for the meaning of life. Isn't that a little stereotypical? It's a reasonable question, you persisted. I looked you in the eye. The meaning of life? The reason I made this whole universe is for you to mature. You mean mankind? You want us to mature? No, just you. I made this whole universe for you. With each new life, you grow and mature and become a larger and greater intellect. Just me? What about everyone else? There is no one else, I said. In this universe, there's just you and me. You stared blankly at me. But all the people on Earth, all you, different incarnations of you. Wait, I'm everyone? Now you're getting it, I said, with a congratulatory slap on the back. I'm every human being who ever lived. Or will ever live, yes. I'm Abraham Lincoln. And you're John Wilkes Booth, too, I added. I'm Hitler, you said, appalled. And you're the millions he killed. I'm Jesus. And you're everyone who followed him. You fell silent. Every time you victimize someone, I said, you were victimizing yourself. Every happy and every sad moment ever experienced by any human being was or will be experienced by you. You thought for a long time. Why? You asked me. Why do all of this? Because someday you'll become like me, because that's what you are. You are one of my kind. You're my child. Whoa, you said, incredulous. You mean I'm a god? No, not yet. You're a fetus. You're still growing. Once you've lived every human life throughout all time, you will have grown enough to be born. The whole universe, you said. It's just an egg, I answered. Now it's time for you to move on to your next life, and I sent you on your way. Though this story may be a little far-fetched for some of you to grasp, I challenge you to see the depth of interconnectedness being expressed here. We may never know every person, every creature, or every being we impact, but there's no denying that every choice we make holds consequences and affects the world around us, as we are undeniably in this world and of this world. Just take, for example, Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Or the chaos theory's butterfly effect. It has been said something as small as the flutter of a butterfly's wing can ultimately cause a typhoon halfway around the world. Understanding the interconnectedness of life can inspire a deeper appreciation for the world around us and our place within it. Take a moment and observe your immediate surroundings. How do you feel a sense of connection to what you feel, to what you hear, smell, taste? Or you can reflect on a time where you felt an immense sense of interconnectedness. That reminds me of a story I can share with you, my own personal experience. I was new to the state and I was out exploring, just looking at different areas in nature. And a coworker had suggested to me to go and explore Nambe Falls. And so I ventured out there with little Asher, and we were just out there by ourselves. Most of the other people out there were with family, kids, dogs, couples. even looked like some people were doing family reunion out there. But the fun thing about this waterfall was that we had to hike up the river against the current, and parts of the path had been washed out and covered by the river. So in some areas, we were wading up to our waist in water, and everybody was doing this. And I remember when we finally got to the lower part of the falls, there was a lot of rock structures sticking out in different areas to where people were sunbathing on it and swimming, picnicking. And I remember sitting there, and even though I was by myself, I was observing everything around me, watching how the people were interacting, watching the young folks climbing up the cliffs and challenging each other running. And I just felt so connected to every single person that was there, even though I had never met any of them, just by being in the midst of the joy and the shared appreciation of just being there in nature, and the little bit of a trek and journey it was to get to the place where we were at. And I just remember sitting there feeling like maybe I came here alone, but I am definitely not alone. And that was such an important experience for me in experiencing interconnectedness in a culture where I hadn't yet felt like I had learned to fit in, yet sitting there amongst all of those people, everybody just being humans, sharing a communal space and being present and just really enjoying life. I definitely felt a sense of belonging. The Cambridge Dictionary defines interconnectedness as the state of having different parts or things connected or related to each other. So, the concept of interconnectedness, imagine life as an intricate web where each thread represents an entity, whether it's a person, animal, plant, or an aspect of the environment. Just as in a spider's web, every thread in this web of life is connected, influencing and supporting others. I want to share with you some famous quotes about interconnectedness. Martin Luther King Jr. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Serge King, we are all connected to everyone and everything in the universe. Chief, Seattle. We do not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. Thomas Merton. The whole idea of compassion is based on a keen awareness of the interdependence of all these living beings. Charles Eames. Eventually, everything connects. People, ideas, objects. The quality of connections is the key to quality per se. The Dalai Lama. We humans are social beings. We come into the world as a result of others' actions. We survive here in dependence on others. Amit Ray. We are all so deeply connected. Deepak Chopra. The idea of interconnectedness suggests that everything in the universe is connected in some way, that all things and all events are part of a larger interconnected system. And from excuse me, why I try to pronounce this very quickly and stumble over my words. This is from daisakuakita.org. Daisaku Akita was a Buddhist philosopher, peace builder, educator, author, and poet. I will leave the link to this in the description. So here are some quotes from him on the website. The idea of interdependence is central to Buddhism, which holds that all things come into being through the mutual interactions of various causes and conditions. No one can live entirely on their own. nor can any country or society exist in isolation. It is crucial that we develop real awareness of ourselves as citizens of Earth, linked by mutual and indissoluble bonds. When we clearly recognize this reality and ground ourselves in it, we are compelled to take a strict accounting of our way of life. Indifference will lead to the withering of our heart. When we turn a blind eye to the suffering of others, we grow numb to something important in ourselves and succumb eventually to a spiritual death. Each form of life supports all others. Together, they weave the grand web of life. Thus, there is really no happiness for oneself alone, no suffering that afflicts only others. All phenomena in the universe exist within the context of mutually supportive relationships, what Buddhism refers to as dependent origination. In this view, nothing exists without meaning and nothing is wasted. Interweaving these threads of interdependence, the universe has brought forth and nurtured life, including human life on this planet. There are scientific and societal perspectives that also support interconnectedness. Here are some examples of how we can witness this in our lives. Ecosystems and nature. In nature, every organism plays a role in maintaining the balance of its ecosystem. Plants produce oxygen and food for other organisms. Animals spread the seeds and contribute to the food chain. Insects pollinate flowers, enabling plants to reproduce. The health of each component affects the others, illustrating the symbiotic relationships that sustain life. Human societies. Humans are also part of this web. Our actions influence the environment and each other. Communities thrive through mutual support, cooperation, and shared resources. Every decision we make, what we consume, how we interact, creates ripples that impact our surroundings and the people we meet. Global connections. On a larger scale, globalization has intertwined economies, cultures, and technologies. What happens in one part of the world can affect people thousands of miles away, highlighting how closely linked our global community has become. Spiritual and emotional bonds. There are also less visible connections, such as the emotional and spiritual bonds between people. Acts of kindness can inspire positivity and change, fostering a sense of unity and shared responsibility for one another's well-being. Universal energy. Many spiritual traditions teach that everything in existence shares a fundamental energy or essence. This concept suggests that humans, nature, and the universe are parts of a greater whole, interconnected in profound and unseen ways. As an individual, your actions can greatly influence the interconnectedness of life by either strengthening the bonds within the ecological and social systems or potentially disrupting them. By understanding that our actions ripple outward, influencing both local and global ecosystems and social networks, you can make informed decisions that bolster the interconnectedness of life. Here's how. Environmental stewardship. Protecting biodiversity actions like planting native species, preserving habitats, reducing pesticide use. This helps maintain biodiversity, which is crucial for ecosystem and balance and resilience. And you can practice sustainable living practices like reducing pollution, conserving natural resources, and minimizing waste supports healthy ecosystems, ensuring that various life forms can thrive and maintain their roles in the web of life. There's also the option of social and cultural engagement, such as community involvement. So, engaging in community initiatives such as local cleanups or community gardens can strengthen our social bonds and promote a shared sense of responsibility towards the environment. Or cultural exchange and learning. Embracing diverse cultures and perspectives can enhance sociocultural interconnectedness by fostering our understanding and cooperation among different communities. You can also practice conscious consumption with your ethical choices. Supporting fair trade and environmentally friendly products can positively impact distant communities and ecosystems, highlighting the global interconnectedness of economies and environments. You can also practice consumption awareness by being mindful of the life cycles of the products that you're using, from raw material extraction to disposal. This can reduce adverse environmental impacts and support sustainable economic practices. Another way you can make an impact is through education and advocacy by spreading awareness. When you educate yourself and others about the interconnectedness of life, it can inspire broader awareness and collective action towards more harmonious coexistence with nature. And you can try championing policies, like advocating for policies that protect natural habitats, promote sustainable practices, and address climate change. And that strengthens the overall health of the interconnected web of life. You can also make an impact by choosing your technological choices, such as digital engagement. If you're using technology to connect with and support global environmental and social causes, that can help bridge distances and foster global community efforts towards protecting interconnected systems. In essence, recognizing that everything is connected encourages us to approach life with greater empathy and mindfulness. This awareness can lead us to make choices that honor our interconnectedness, fostering harmony within ourselves and the world around us. By seeing the world as a web, we are reminded of the impact and reach of our actions, inspiring us to contribute positively to the global tapestry of life. So, at the heart of our existence lies a profound truth. We are all threads in the vast tapestry of life. Each choice we make resonates far beyond our immediate surroundings, subtly weaving the fabric of the world around us. Today, I invite you to pause and contemplate your place within this intricate web. Reflect on your daily actions, how your choices impact the environment, the closest communities, and even those miles away. Take a moment to consider the simple ways you can contribute to a healthier, more connected world. Whether it's through supporting local sustainable businesses, reducing waste, or simply sharing what you've learned today with someone else, remember that every mindful action is a stitch in our shared tapestry of resilience and hope. Individual actions, when multiplied by many, can lead to a significant global change. Let's create a thriving future together, one intentional, interconnected step at a time. And if you like, you can check out my YouTube channel, the North Star Within podcast, for my guided meditation on embracing your place in the web of life. Subscribe to keep connected with future content and join the Facebook group, The North Star Within, for more direct interaction with myself, fellow listeners, and a community of like-minded people here to support one another. As Ram Dass says, we are all just walking each other home.